Hey, what's up guys? It's JoePcool14 here. Welcome back to another video. Yeah, welcome back to the Mineplex saga. We got a big new announcement today, or really the big new announcements, plural, I suppose, in a new video today posted on the Mineplex Games YouTube channel. It's been kind of a day of high drama, a little bit, with this whole thing, and I have to, I guess, take a little bit of the blame myself for misunderstanding things. I'm going to kind of dive into this and kind of dissect this a little bit from a third-party perspective, and just kind of give my own thoughts on what I think is really going on here. So I guess we'll try and keep this in order. Right now what you're looking at is the homepage of the new Mineplex.com, and I believe this is just the new video, the first one that went up today. Yeah, that's all that is. So I won't play that again. Yeah, actually what I'm gonna start with here, I'm gonna show you the Discord real quick. Yeah, so this is coming back again to the Mineplex Discord here. Basically, they were hyping up this big announcement since, I guess they started teasing it on the 7th. They asked for content creators to reach out before that as well. So the 7th, and then they talked about it again on the 13th, and this is when they kind of unveiled some new branding for the server, which totally separate from everything I say in this video. If I can pause on the correct frame. The new logo is really awesome, actually. I've got to say, it's, first of all, it manages to keep what was super cool about the old logo, the colors, and just the general style and feel, while still introducing kind of this new brand, this new phoenix, which is obviously a perfect symbol to use for this comeback. And as a bonus, the phoenix actually looks like an M, so massive props to whoever came up with that graphic design. Although I do think this is kind of weird. It looks like it says Mineplex. I don't know. That's nitpicking. I'm not even gonna go there. Anyway, so this video is about a 12-minute video, and highly recommend watching it, of course. But just to give you the TLDR kind of scoop, basically it explained what Mineplex is going to be transforming into. So it's not really going to be just a server anymore. It's going to be kind of a game development studio, almost like a Roblox sort of thing. So developers will be able to pay $15 a month to effectively get access to these tools, and they can create their games and get them approved to be a part of Mineplex. And then that was kind of the main pitch of this whole thing. And when I say tools, not only does it come with the tools to develop the game, but it also comes with things like, I think, moderation assistance, anti-cheat assistance, some other things. I don't really remember, unfortunately, what they were, but basically just, you know, kind of to help you have the complete package. I guess the infrastructure as well, that's very important. The infrastructure itself to run the game. Basically, you pay the $15, you get your game approved. That's the thing, you have to make your game, you get it approved by the people running Mineplex Studio or Mineplex Network or whatever you want to call it now. Then it's playable on the Mineplex server. And that was what this whole video was about. And it was talking about, oh, there's merchandise for sale, and, you know, we're gonna have a closed beta that you can pay to partake in later, you know, at the end of the year, around Christmas time or whatever. And I guess if you have seen the video, if you've just seen that first video, it came off as very tone deaf, in my opinion. I don't think they were thinking very well about what the community was really looking for here when they put together that video. You know, myself and I think pretty much everybody awaiting this was looking forward to something that would be effectively bringing back Mineplex 2.0, run by SamitoD, with all the same games and all that sorts of stuff. That didn't happen. That's not what we got in that video. At least that's not what was very clearly stated. It was just more like, we're going to take the Mineplex brand and we're going to make it into this whole Roblox-esque thing, and we're going to sell off our IPs, you know, for the various games like Super Smash Mobs and Clans and whatever else, and everybody's going to get to develop their game, and it's going to be great, and we're not going to do anything, but we're just going to kind of run this infrastructure or whatever. Like I said, not very well portrayed in my opinion. I ended up leaving actually a pretty negative comment, which I'm going to show you real quick just to kind of highlight it a little bit. So this is the video here. Actually, it's currently sitting at about 10,000 views. I'm actually going to remove my dislike here. You'll notice though, so I'm using the dislike extension here on YouTube. Yeah, this video, it was hard to gauge what most people thought, but there was definitely a subset of people who didn't like the sound of it. Kind of what I said, or I really should say we, because I was a part of this. We thought, this isn't Mineplex. You're just using the brand name. I saw somebody say this. You're just using the brand name to advance this new company, basically, which is like, well, who really asked for this, you know? And I guess the point, like I said, I came here to show you my comment here, and I basically said, this is not the Mineplex we wanted. You're selling off Mineplex IP to various different groups, effectively preventing Mineplex from coming back in the way we were hoping for. The way that was implied to the community for the last 3 months. Now, even if the games making platform proved to be successful and useful, this is not what we came here for. Read the room, guys. And then I made a little Shark Tank reference. I guess this wasn't entirely true. This really wasn't a very good comment. It was rather short-sighted, which is why I've actually edited it now. But it just really came off as like not a good way. So I guess to continue the saga, not to drag on this original video, I want to give them credit because they have tried to do, I guess, a lot of, damage control. And I'm kind of going to try and just hit some of the big points here. So the first thing I think that I saw was posted literally within like minutes after the thing, because the live chat was going nuts, and the comments and the Discord server, everything was going nuts because everybody just didn't do a good job conveying it. That's basically what it comes down to. So Sam posted this announcement here, and he basically made these 4 points, is that the games are still going to be on a Mineplex server, which I think that alone was just something that they didn't convey in the first video. It was not clear that Mineplex was still going to be a server. It sounded like it was just going to be this development tool that they've supposedly put together, all these sophisticated tools or whatever, and there wasn't going to be a server. So very clearly he has dispelled that fact. Or that rumor, I should say, really. And then he said, most of Mineplex sold games will be given to community developers to allow them to be more updated. So actually, originally I said in my comment, I was like, oh, they're going to sell the IP, which I'm not really sure when he says will be given to. I'm not sure if that means the games will be sold or if they're actually being just given. That's kind of vague and unclear. I don't know if it really matters, but thinking about this more, I actually kind of like this. I like this change because I think they've got a good point. I think that maybe it is better to let the individual communities be in control of the games that they love so much. I mean, if the players understand the balancing and the way kits work and different exploits and how maps should be designed and certain rules and things like that, I mean, maybe they should be in control of it. Maybe there shouldn't be some, big controlling stake. Maybe it should function more like, these United States, where the states have their own rights as opposed to just the national federal government being able to set policies. It talks about the closed beta that will happen around the end of the year, around Christmas. I was originally thinking I'm not going to pay for this because I'm like, no way, this is stupid. Honestly, depending on how this stuff goes, depending on how much more news we get, I might sign up for it because I've kind of been following this story a little bit now, so... And finally, he mentioned that they'll be hosting a developer town hall answering questions sometime very soon in the next week. That I think is also very good because, again, as I said, there's lots of questions and lots of confusion. And then in the last sentence here, he talks about how he feels that this is necessary because this is kind of the new way that things have to be done to make, to be sustainable financially. And is there truth to that? I don't know, because I look at Hypixel, and Hypixel seems like they're doing okay. Now, I don't know the financials of Hypixel, I mean, but maybe Hypixel is an exception because they're the top dog anyway. Proof will be in the pudding, I guess. I mean, something like Roblox is very successful and very popular. Of course, we all know the reputation Roblox has, but that's besides the point. I think there's a lot of potential, but I think the potential is very unproven, and you gotta give him props for trying something like this, I guess. You gotta give him props for trying to step outside and not just put back Mineplex exactly as it was, or with, minor updates to games and maybe a new anti-cheat or whatever. It is kind of weird, though, here how they have the link to the shop and they said, to support us and your future. I don't really like the idea of saying your future as in us, because it's kind of like we're invested, which, like I said, I'm emotionally invested, but I'm not financially invested. I'm not part of your group. But that's minor. Like I said, that's nitpicking. In fact, let's go check out the shop real quick. So yeah, we're back here on their website. The shop is kind of confusing a little bit. Just a little blurb. They do have like a press release in here. Maybe we can take a look at that. So I haven't really looked too much at this. I've seen this, but I haven't really clicked on what this stuff is. Like, I don't know what these crowns are exactly. I'm still... Oh yeah, I do. This is the one thing I did see. So these are going to be some kind of in-game currency for like cosmetics. I mean, one of the things he made clear was this server is going to be EULA compliant, which is a big thing. And I was actually just kind of watching some stuff today about that. Anyway, yeah, so I guess they're going to sell these. That's a lot of money. $45, $50. So, cool, I guess. And then they have these bundles, which I haven't really looked at. So the Iron Bundle, help support release. You get a in-game badge or tag, I'm presuming, an access code. So I guess that's interesting. So it only costs $10 to get into the closed beta. I can't really go wrong with that, I guess. That's pretty reasonable, I suppose. And then they got... Actually, oh wait, this isn't even all the items. Hold on a second. Oh my gosh. So they have more crown packages. They have physical merchandise. I have to say, I kind of like that t-shirt, though. Yeah, I mean... The whole stuff with merch, like here, I guess we'll just skip over here to like this $150 bundle. So it comes with a hoodie, digital codes for an in-game, so just a patent amount, badge, and then the access code. I don't know, I just think it's kind of weird how much money they were asking for, and it wasn't phrased very well. And the fact that they're selling merchandise, I mean, I don't know if they're trying to just sell this to kind of raise money now, but I don't know. It just, again, it kind of has to do with a little bit of just the whole jankiness of how this was all announced, that I don't think it was very well thought out. I think it's weird because some of it was thought out very well and other parts of it weren't. So, just kind of a weird situation. So that's the store. If we jump back here to the Discord, scrolling down, he answered, well actually I should say, while this was going on, they do have a questions channel here. Oh, excuse me, not that one. Well, he has been very active in the questions channel. I'll give him credit for that. Clearly there has been a massive effort to damage control, if you will. So they screwed up on that video, but they've been doing pretty much everything I think they can to clear it up. So it makes it clear that really this was a communication problem and not necessarily a goal problem. Although the goal, like I said, it's unproven right now. So we'll have to see. But they've posted a ton of Q&As on here. I've delved into some of these. I've just kind of looked. They're short answers. Like, will there be a beta for Mineplex? Yes, there'll be a closed beta, around Christmas time at the end of the year and all that. Does everyone need to pay on Mineplex? This was a huge misconception going on. This $15 a month. People thought the $15 a month was going to be to play on Mineplex, which I have to say, that is kind of a ridiculous, like, proposition. Like, who would pay $15 a month to play on a minigame server? Nobody. Nobody would do that. So that... not really sure how people got that one wrong. That first video may have just been so clumsy, I don't really know, but that's clearly not the case. The server will be free, so that's good. Yeah, there's just a bunch of questions here, which ended up being conglomerated here into another video about the whole thing. Just, you could tell he was probably panicking a little bit putting this together, but he pretty much, I think, regurgitated a lot of those questions in a video form. It's only about 6 minutes long. It's nothing too bad. So again, here's the follow-up video explaining the Mineplex Studio, answering frequently asked questions. 6.5 minute video, nothing super complicated, just answering some of those questions and explaining things and saying, yep, we're going to do Town Hall next week. So I pretty much watched this video and I left this comment and I said, yeah, this is a really well-needed follow-up. I'm starting to get a better idea. And people seem to have taken the reception pretty well, I think. To sum things up here, what are my thoughts, I guess, knowing the situation now as best as I can? How do I feel about this whole thing? I would say that this is actually a pretty cool approach to taking things. I think there's a lot of benefits to, the core gameplay of these classic games. I think, like he said in his video, the people who know how to update and develop a game like Clans are the people who played Clans, not some guy sitting in a boardroom trying to figure out how to, direct his developers and what projects to spend time on. They can just help with the central stuff, the infrastructure, and the developing tools and all sorts of other things. And then they can go and make the games. Like I said, this is Roblox, or actually... I have to mention it. This so much reminds me a little bit of Hytale in a way. The fact that Hytale is meant to be this big game that was going to come out, and and you're gonna be able to make all sorts of things. It's gonna be this one-trick pony, and it's gonna be so many things. And funny enough, I think that announcement came out, what, 4 or 5 years ago now, and we still don't have a release date on that. Just some food for thought. But yeah, I think for the core gameplay, I think this is a lot of hope. What I think my problems come down to is I just question how this is still going to feel like Mineplex in terms of the community aspect, because I think one of the things about Mineplex that was so cool was the fact that there were so many of these communities across so many games, and yet the server still felt cohesive. There was still a forum, there were still lobbies, there were still events like the training acceptance parties. A lot of the server felt very cohesive with how the kit systems worked, the stats, the ranks, everything else, the rules. It felt like one network, but with a lot of different game modes. This is going to feel like a lot of different servers in the same game. So I just kind of wonder how that's going to work in the end. It might, like I said, this is why I keep saying that I think the core of these games is going to be preserved and improved, but I question how it's going to be from a community aspect. But I'm not saying it's going to fail. I'm not saying it's going to fail, and I should also mention I don't want it to fail. I would hate to see that fail, because I think they've been putting an effort into this. It's clear to me that just on the fact of the presentation, I think they've been putting a lot of care into this, and maybe they just got too excited with the whole studio concept that they kind of forgot to mention, oh, by the way, we're still bringing back the games you love, and it's still going to be a server called Mineplex. That may have been what happened there. It's not really, it's kind of their fault, but it's not really their fault. It may have been, like I said, they just got too focused, too excited. That's kind of a summary of what happened today. I'm kind of still loosely following it. I'm still excited. I'm still going to keep giving my thoughts on this whole thing. Otherwise, let me know what you guys think about this whole Mineplex Studios thing. First of all, do you have any interest? Well, first of all, what do you think? And were you confused like the rest of us were? Or some of us anyway. Do you have any interest in playing on this? And do you have any interest, more importantly to them probably, do you have any interest in trying to develop a game for this thing? Would you pay the $15 a month and see what they got and try and put something together? I don't know. I mean, sounds like an interesting idea. And if it pans out well, hey, maybe that'd be a great thing. I think I'm going to sign up for the beta test. Not right now, but you know, by the time it comes around, I think I might give it a try just because I want to see how this is. And if it turns out to be something amazing, well, dang, I want to be a part of it. So I apologize, I guess, for not understanding, but like I said, it's kind of your guys' fault. You've pretty much done everything to clear things up, straighten them out, and set yourself up for what could be a success, a huge success, in fact. So we'll find out, and we'll be watching, and we'll be waiting. So that's about all I got for this video. I'll catch you in the next one.